guys, Eric here. I hope you are all well. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Today I want to show you the difference between printing on aluminum and printing on acrylic. I took the same photo and I printed it both on metal and acrylic. I'm going to give you some pros and cons of each, and then at the end we're going to bring it all together and I will tell you which one I would get for what situations. So first off, we have Alu dye bond. Now this is printed on two thin sheets of aluminum with a polyethyl core. It's waterproof, UV resistant, it doesn't rust, it doesn't crack, and it doesn't corrode. So it's a very robust piece. This is a great thing if you want to put this piece in somewhere where it might get some more wear and tear. Say like a shower, in a bathroom, perhaps outside. Since it's aluminum, you can just wipe it off and it's clean. On top of that, it has a very particular grain to it, an aluminum brush kind of feel. Sometimes you can actually feel the texture of your photograph, which is pretty cool. That said, it has a matte finish with a satin sheen to it. It doesn't give you that kind of glossy that you might be familiar with. However, I think in certain situations, this alu really shines, and I actually prefer this kind of brushed aluminum look as to this kind of clean, glossy look. But that's a personal preference. Okay, on the other side, we have our acrylic print. Now, this is printed on a 4mm piece of acrylic glass. How they do the printing process is they first print an entire white sheet on the back of the acrylic, and then they print your photo on top of that. That said, since it's glass, it is highly reflective, as you might be seeing right now. So that's something to think about. It depends where you're going to put this piece. That said, it is a choice in many art galleries, and there's probably a reason. There's a bit more luminance that comes from the acrylic print. What I found, which is particularly cool, is that since it's glass, it actually really shines when you put it getting light from behind. So if you're able to put a print somewhere near a window or even in a window, I would definitely go with acrylic. And I'll show you what I mean in some examples right here. These are actually placed right now in a window, and you can see that the light coming from the window really gives that acrylic print a little extra pop. Now in this case, they're just placed on the wall, and the window light is actually giving the metal the edge. So like I was saying, if you're able to get a light source behind the acrylic, it will just bring out that photograph. So to give you a quick example, I put a light here. Check this out. It just really glows. So you can imagine mounting this on a lighted backboard or something like this, like they would do in an art gallery, and it would really bring out your photograph. For me, it's even giving it somewhat of a 3D appeal. So this is something to really consider. If you have the ability to mount your photograph in a way like this, it might be worth getting the acrylic. Acrylic also has a higher reproduction rate. You're able to get a bit more detail out of the acrylic prints, and that's just due to the printing process itself. And although the acrylic is also waterproof, you're going to have to be more careful with which substances you use to wipe down the acrylic. It's not as robust as the metal, and therefore I wouldn't recommend putting it in somewhere like a shower or a bathroom. So if that's your intention, I would go with the aluminum. In the end, which one's better? Well, I think they're better for different reasons. As I showed you, if you're able to get some light behind that acrylic one, man, it really is awesome. That said, the metal is so robust that I think for everyday use, the metal kind of is the better choice. But if you want the highest detail and you want to maybe show your photographs in an art gallery or something like this, I would say maybe go for that acrylic. They're not so different in price. I paid €5 difference between the two. So it's not about price, but it's really about the characteristics that you'll get from each of these. I hope this helped you kind of understand better what these two printing processes offer. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't done that, and give me a like if you like this video. So, see you guys next time. Hey, wait a second. Are those footprints on the bottom?